Hey, welcome back to another episode of CX Riot Radio, where we talk about customer experience and, stuff, still in a hyper-caffeinated state. I'm David, I'm the caffeinated CXO, and I'm the host of CX Riot Radio. And today, we have an episode for you, like we always do, every Wednesday, more or less, sometimes more. It's okay. Before we start, I just want to invite you to like, subscribe, comment, and share the show so we can make the show grow, so we can get more people's playlists and ears and heads and minds and bodies and souls. So, if you're ready, we can begin. I think that's good enough. So, you ever walk into a shop or a department or an office or a call center floor, or maybe in this day and age, a Slack server or Discord server? You can feel the energy. You can feel the energy that's in the air. The spark, the hum, or the lack of it. You can tell within 30 seconds if you're in a company that runs on urgency and ownership, or a company that's just running out the clock. Urgency and ownership. Two simple words, and words that are bantered and repeated and spoken a lot. But I think a lot of people just like those words, like the way they sound, like the ideas behind them, but fail to execute on them. These two words, put simply, are the engines of every high-performing company in America, and probably around the world, for those non-Americans listening. I love you. If you want to scale, if you want to dominate, if you want to build something bigger than yourself, you start with urgency and ownership. Most shops, most companies, most departments fall apart because somebody somewhere stopped giving a shit about how fast they act and stopped caring about whether the outcome was theirs to carry. It's not the fancy CRM. It's never the dispatch board. It's never the scripts, the KPIs, the marketing budget, or the trucks. It's urgency and ownership, lived or ignored, that separates the heroes from the also-rans. So, let's go break it down. It's fine. So, people hear urgency and think panic, running around, hair on fire. No. That's incompetence. Urgency is clarity in motion. Urgency is when the phone rings and your brain says, somebody needs help right now. Not when I get to it. Not let me finish this conversation about what we're ordering for lunch. Not I'll just click through this tab first. Right now. And this doesn't have to be a call. This can be a email lead. It can be a form fill. It can be a Yelp message. It can be a Google LSA message. It can be anything. Use your imagination. So urgency isn't about efficiency. It's about the customer psychology. So, unlike a lot of other industries, right? People are actually calling in a real state of panic, right? They're not calling their telephone company panicking, right? They might be a little upset. They might be a little verklempt. But they're not calling in because their phone is literally on fire, right? Or something like that. No. So they're calling when their sewer backs up, when their AC dies in July, when their water heater explodes at 3 a.m., when their garage door doesn't open, when there's fucking cockroaches all over their floor, right? They might be a little scared. They might be a little stressed, and let's face it, they're probably a bit vulnerable at that point. And a lot of companies will take advantage of that, and that's disgusting. But the person who responds first wins. The company that solves the issue fast wins. The team that treats every call like it matters wins every single time. And revenue follows urgency like a shadow. A good kind of shadow, not the Lord of the Rings type shadow. You know what I meant. It's fine. So, but a company with urgency books more calls. A company with urgency routes their technicians faster. A company with urgency sells more jobs same day because they take action. They take action before waiting for the perfect plan. Urgency makes revenue multiply because you stop leaking opportunity. And most companies, let's face it, are leaking opportunity like crazy. So, slow to book a call, revenue leak. Slow dispatching, revenue leak. Slow follow-up, revenue leak. Slow callbacks, revenue leak. Slow approvals, revenue leak. Slow problem solving, you guessed it, revenue leak. Urgency plugs all of it, like Flex Seals for a dying P&L. Now, if urgency is the spark, ownership is the fuel. And let me elaborate. Ownership is when you stop saying shit like, that's not my job, or I didn't know, or no one told me, or I'm waiting on so-and-so to do this so I can do that, or it's not my fault. It's not my fault things fall through the cracks. Aww. Ownership is when you start asking, what can I do right now? How do I fix this? What's the next step? How do we solve, not stall? Ownership isn't permission. It's responsibility. It's claiming the entire customer experience the second it lands on your lap. Ownership transforms a call center into a profit center. It transforms dispatchers into air traffic controllers. It transforms technicians into trusted advisors. It transforms digital teams into problem hunters instead of box checkers. And when people feel ownership, job satisfaction skyrockets. Engagement shoots up. Turnover drops. Pride grows. Culture strengthens. Everything else becomes lighter to lift. Because people love working somewhere where their actions fucking matter. Where their decisions fucking matter. Where their effort actually shapes the outcome. People disengage when they feel powerless. Ownership gives them power again. So here's the whole crux of it. The whole magic of this. Urgency without ownership equals chaos. Ownership without urgency equals stagnation. But urgency with ownership is rocket fuel. Suddenly, your booking rate climbs because the phones get answered fast and the calls get handled with purpose. Suddenly, your dispatch gets tighter because people stop kicking the problem down the road. Suddenly, your technicians close more jobs because they take responsibility for the whole customer experience, not just replacing a part. Suddenly, your customer returns skyrocket because they feel cared for, not processed, not rushed, not like another customer, not like another number, but they feel cared for. Customers don't churn because of mistakes. They churn because they feel like no one took responsibility when a mistake happened. They turn because somebody shrugged when they needed someone to act. Urgency plus ownership eliminates that shrug from your company's DNA. And I know this has been said many, many, many times before, but customer experience is not a department. Even if in your company you have a department called customer experience itself is not a department. It's literally should be baked into every piece of your company. Every division is part of the customer experience, even the ones that are not customer facing. So the call center, obvious, that is CX. Dispatch, yes, CX. The technicians, of course, customer experience. Digital, yep, CX. Billing, you guessed it, CX. Marketing, CX. If that bloodstream slows down, you lose fingers, you lose limbs, you lose your life. But if the bloodstream flows fast and strong, and CX is the bloodstream here if you're not getting the metaphor, but if that bloodstream flows fast and strong, everything thrives, everything grows, everything works better. Urgency keeps the blood pumping, ownership keeps the heart beating. And when every employee, every role, every interaction carries those two things, you unlock something rare. You create a company that customers talk about, a company technicians want to join, a company employees brag about working for, a company where systems improve because people care, not because leadership forced it. A company where revenue grows as a side effect of doing things right. If you want to transform your company, start with these two behaviors: urgency and ownership. Not software, not strategies, not slogans, not meetings, not another fucking dashboard. Behaviors. Behavior is culture. Culture is consistency. Consistency is revenue. Urgency and ownership are simple. Now, simple isn't easy. Simple is discipline. So, here's a little CX Riot Radio challenge for you. For the next 7 days, everyone in the company practices urgency and ownership. Turn it into a game. Turn it into a non-negotiable. 7 days. If the phone rings, you pick it up with urgency. If there's a customer complaint, ownership. If a job is running late, urgency and ownership. An opportunity comes in, urgency plus ownership. Something gets missed, ownership and then urgency. Run that for 7 days and watch the difference. Watch how much smoother everything becomes. Watch how many fewer fires you have to put out. Watch how many calls you book. Watch how texts thank you because dispatch finally feels coordinated. Watch how customers start saying, "I've never felt so taken care of." Watch how leadership notices the shift. And then, once it becomes habit, once you taste what a fully aligned, fully alive, fully urgent, fully accountable company feels like, you'll never go back. So, to wrap this up, urgency is speed with purpose. Ownership is responsibility with pride. Together, they turn your company into a force. A force that customers trust. A force employees believe in. a force the market cannot compete with, a force that grows not by accident, but by design. Most companies, let's face it, sleepwalk. Most companies coast. Most companies settle. But the companies that win, the companies that dominate, the companies that become legends in the trades or any industry, they live urgent. They act accountable. They take ownership. Every shift, every call, every job, every customer, and every moment. That's been today's CX Riot Radio. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to check it out, we have books, we have merch. They're all down on that link tree link below. So, please, I have kids to feed. And I'll see you next time.